Urgent Dallas Cowboys fans, do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel because here we bring you daily videos with the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Cowboys Nation. Today, we're diving deep into a story that's been sending shockwaves through the Dallas Cowboys community and the NFL as a whole. If you've been following the team's progress this season, you already know that the Cowboys have been navigating a complex landscape of challenges, expectations, and hopes. But recently, a series of injury updates have thrown a wrench into the plans of this talented squad, raising questions about their immediate future and their long-term prospects for the postseason. Trust me, this is a story you don't want to miss, because the implications could resonate far beyond just the next few games. So what exactly happened? Well, the Dallas Cowboys are currently facing a significant obstacle, not just one, but multiple setbacks involving some of their key players. Most notably, DeMarvion Overshown and Ryan Flournoy have been unable to participate in recent team practices. Now, if you've been paying attention to the Cowboys roster, you know Overshown has been an emerging star, especially on special teams and as a linebacker with a lot of potential to grow into a more prominent role. Flournoy, though less talked about, has been an important rotational piece on defense. Their absence isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's a substantial blow that could influence the team's performance in upcoming games, especially against some of their most critical opponents. But wait, it gets even more complicated. The news broke that Quinnen Williams, a player from another team, the New York Jets, who has been a dominant force on their defensive line, is also dealing with injury issues. Now, why is this relevant? Because it highlights a broader trend that's been affecting the league. Injuries are an unavoidable reality. But for the Cowboys, losing Overshown and Flournoy in the middle of the season could mean a reshuffling of their defensive schemes, a reassessment of their linebacker rotation, and possible shifts in their game plan. The question is, how will this affect their chances of securing a playoff spot? And what does it say about their depth and resilience as a team? Let's take a step back and analyze the situation more thoroughly. First, we have to understand the importance of these players. DeMarvion Overshown, despite being a relatively young player, has shown flashes of brilliance. His athleticism, speed, and instincts have made him a key piece for the Cowboys' defense, especially in situational plays where speed and agility matter. His absence could create gaps in the linebacker core, forcing the coaching staff to rely on less experienced or less proven players. Ryan Flournoy, on the other hand, has been a versatile rotational linebacker, providing depth and stability when called upon. Without him, the team's flexibility in the linebacker position diminishes, which could be exploited by high-powered offenses. Now, considering Quinnen Williams' situation, although he's not a Cowboy, the fact that such a prominent player from another team is also injured underscores the unpredictable nature of NFL seasons. It's a brutal reminder that even the most talented teams aren't immune to setbacks. The Cowboys, with their own injury issues, must now adapt quickly. The coaching staff, led by Mike McCarthy, will need to get creative. Will they shift other players into different roles? Will they rely more heavily on their veteran players or on the younger prospects in the roster? These are the questions that will define their upcoming stretch of games. In terms of statistics, it's worth noting that Overshown has played in 9 games this season, accumulating around 50 combined tackles, with a couple of sacks and forced fumbles. His presence on the field is vital in both run defense and pass coverage, and his athleticism allows him to cover ground quickly. Flournoy's stats might be less eye-catching, but his role as a rotational linebacker means he often comes in during key packages, providing fresh legs and stability. Losing these pieces could mean a dip in the overall defensive efficiency, especially against teams with strong rushing attacks or dynamic quarterbacks. Now, let's put this into context. The Dallas Cowboys have historically been a team that emphasizes a strong defense, anchored by talented players like Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs. But football is a team sport, and depth is essential, especially as the season progresses and injuries become inevitable. The Cowboys have shown resilience before, overcoming adversity in previous seasons, but the current injury situation puts that resilience to the test. Their recent performances have been promising, but consistency has been a concern, and these absences could threaten their ability to maintain a high level of play. Furthermore, the impact of these injuries goes beyond just individual performances. It affects the team's chemistry, communication, and game planning. For example, if the coaching staff has to tweak their defensive alignments or rely more on inexperienced players, it could lead to mistakes or miscommunications that opponents will try to exploit. That's where the leadership of players like Micah Parsons becomes even more crucial. His ability to rally the defense and set an example can help mitigate some of these issues, but ultimately, the team will need contributions across the board to compensate for the missing pieces. Let's also look at the broader picture. How does this fit into the Cowboys' season so far? At this point, they are in a position where every game is critical. The NFC East remains competitive, with teams like the Eagles and Giants fighting for playoff positioning. The Cowboys have a record that puts them in the thick of things, but injuries like these could be the difference between a successful playoff run and an early exit. Their schedule ahead is challenging, with games against strong opponents that will test their depth and resilience. The next few weeks will be pivotal in determining whether they can overcome this adversity or if it will derail their playoff aspirations. From a strategic perspective, the Cowboys' coaching staff might need to get creative. We could see an increased use of hybrid linebacker safety roles, or perhaps more reliance on their defensive backs to fill in gaps. The importance of versatile players like Trevon Diggs, who can operate in multiple roles, becomes even more apparent in situations like this. Additionally, the team might lean more on their pass rush to compensate for potential lapses in coverage, especially if their linebacker core is weakened. This tactical flexibility is often what separates good teams from great ones, those that can adapt on the fly when injuries strike. Fans are naturally anxious, and rightfully so. Watching your favorite players sidelined is frustrating, but it also sparks a rallying cry for the team to unite and show their true character. The Cowboys' locker room has seen its share of adversity over the years, and history suggests that resilient teams often emerge stronger after setbacks. The question now is, will the younger players step up? Will veterans like Micah Parsons and others take on bigger leadership roles? And how will the coaching staff adjust their approach to keep the team competitive during this tough phase? The media has been buzzing about this situation, with analysts emphasizing the importance of depth and the need for strategic adjustments. Some experts believe that the Cowboys' front office and coaching staff have the right personnel to weather this storm, citing their roster depth and recent draft picks. Others warn that if injuries continue piling up, it could expose vulnerabilities that top-tier teams will try to exploit. For instance, teams with established defensive lines or versatile linebackers might see this as an opportunity to attack the Cowboys' weakened areas. Now, let's talk about the historical context. The Dallas Cowboys, one of the most storied franchises in NFL history, have always been characterized by a combination of star power and resilience. Their Super Bowl victories, legendary players, and iconic moments have built a legacy that fans passionately defend. But part of that legacy involves overcoming adversity, be it injuries, tough opponents, or tough seasons. In recent years, the team has experienced ups and downs, but their ability to bounce back has always been a hallmark. This current injury situation is just another chapter in their ongoing story of resilience. Looking ahead, the Cowboys' upcoming schedule will be a real test. They face teams with potent offenses and aggressive defenses, meaning every game will require careful strategic planning. The coaching staff will need to identify which players can step into bigger roles and how to maximize their strengths. The team's leadership on and off the field will be crucial in maintaining morale and focus during this challenging period. The key to success may lie in their depth chart and their ability to adapt quickly, traits that have defined many championship teams throughout NFL history. As we consider the long-term implications, it's worth noting that injuries, while disruptive, can sometimes serve as a catalyst for growth. Younger players get the chance to prove themselves, and coaching staff get to experiment with different schemes. For the Cowboys, this could be an opportunity to uncover hidden talents or develop emerging stars, which might pay dividends in future seasons. However, the immediate concern remains. How will they navigate these tough weeks ahead and keep their playoff hopes alive? In conclusion, the Dallas Cowboys find themselves at a crossroads. The injury setbacks involving DeMarvion Overshown, Ryan Flournoy, and the ongoing issues with Quinnen Williams serve as stark reminders of the unpredictable nature of football. It's a test of their depth, resilience, and strategic acumen. Will they rise to the occasion? Can their leadership and talent carry them through these turbulent times? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. Cowboys fans are more passionate than ever, and this story is far from over. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe the team can overcome these injuries and still make a deep playoff run? Which players do you think will step up in the absence of Overshown and Flournoy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and IT makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal.